Hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth round of Montreal Open 2025 tournament, where played is white against an international master from France, Migaud and G. The game started with d4 and he asked for knight f6. After c4, e6, I don't want to let him play bishop b4, so I play a3, a rare variation. He answers correctly with c5, and after e3, d5, it's some kind of Tarrasch defense, knight f3, h6, and I decide to take on c5 and then push b4. After he retreats, I play bishop b2, putting some pressure on the long diagonal, he castles, and I decide to create him an Isolani by taking on d5. If he takes by the knight, I can play e4 and then push his pieces back on the bad positions, play bishop g2, and here I'm slightly better. So he decides to take with the pawn, I play bishop d3, my bishops are looking very aggressive, and a5, he attacks my pawn, and there is no way to defend it because if I play b5, he plays knight d7 and then knight b6 or knight c5. For example, after castles knight c5, black has some advantage. So I take on a5 instead, and if he takes with the queen, I can block with my knight and I threaten taken on f6, and after knight d7 I castle and have a small advantage. But he takes with the rook, and after knight d2, knight c6, I play h3, not letting him develop his bishop, queen e7 attacks my pawn, I have to play a4, and after bishop d7 I finally castle, but now knight b4 attacking the bishop, and here I miscalculate. The best move was bishop e2, and for example after rook f a8, now bishop b5, because after the exchange on b5 he cannot take the pawn because of his unprotected rook on a8, so he has to exchange rooks, and this position is completely equal. If instead of rook a8 he plays bishop f5, I can simply play knight d4, attack the bishop, and I'm fine. But instead of all that, I play bishop c3, pinning the knight, and now rook c8, a very strong move that I missed, and now I have to make a decision. It was the best to take on b4, but I play queen b3, and now knight e4. And here it was the last chance for me to take on b4, but I am stubborn and play bishop d4, and my idea was if he takes on d3, I can take with my queen, and now if he wins my pawn on a4, I have a beautiful tactic, bishop takes g7, and after he takes, I give a check, and I win my bishop back, and I am fine. But what I missed was that he doesn't have to take on d3 at once. He takes on d2, and after I take with my knight, now he takes on d3, and then takes my pawn. And the difference is huge, because now I cannot take on g7, after he takes, queen d4 check, but now black has a powerful response queen e5, threatening checkmate on h2. And after I give a check, I'm threatening the rook, but black has an only move that gives them winning positions, king h7, and after, for example, knight f3 attacking the queen, simply queen a8, protecting everything, and here black wins. So I play bishop a1 instead of taking on g7. I'm threatening now to play queen d4 with double attack, so he retreats on c6, queen d4, f6. After knight f3, my only hope is that he has some weak squares and I want to exploit it, but he plays very strong, queen e4, I retreat to b6, he creates king b4, forcing me to exchange queens. I was already in a big time trouble here, so I try to play fast, rook b1, bishop a3, and I decide to attack this bishop again, he retreats on d6, and I put my knight on d4, now it's my only hope for survival. But he plays bishop a4, and I decide to offer him a rook trade, but he refuses by rook c4. I decide to exchange the rooks anyway, but now he has two connected passed pawns. So I play bishop c3, starting to blockade it. After king f7, I also bring my king closer to the center. h5, he wants to stop my pawns, but I don't let him do it by g3. And now b5, his pawns start marching forward. So I play knight c6, blocking it on the b4 square. Bishop d1, he wants to put it on f3. So I play f4. After king moves closer to his pawns, I play king e1 attacking the bishop. But he counterattacks my knight. And there is no way to exchange these pieces without getting a hopeless position, so I refuse the trade by playing knight b4. But now he plays bishop f3, and after knight c2, he simply attacks my pawn, and then puts his bishop on e4, so now my pawns are completely blocked. I return my knight to b4, bishop c5 attacking my pawn, and after king d2, his king changes his route and goes after my pawns. So my king has to also run back, and he is in time, but after rook b7, bishop b7, he wants to put his king on e4, and there is no way I can avoid it, so I play knight c2, and after king e4 I play king e2, forming a barrier, but now his bishop goes to c8, and after that he wants to go to g4, and here I understand that my position is completely hopeless, so I decide to offer a bishop trade. After check I go to d2, he takes, and if I take with the knight, everything ends very quickly. He plays b4, after knight c6, for example, attacking the pawn, he plays c3, then takes on e3, gives up his pawns, but plays king f3 and takes all three of my pawns and completely wins the game. So I take on d4 with the pawn, hoping for the last chance. After knight king f3, I play knight e3, attacking the bishop, and for some reason he didn't take on g3, which was completely possible. Probably he was afraid of f5, but after that move, black can simply play king f4, and after d5 just take on f5 with a completely winning position. Or maybe he was scared of taking on g4, so after he takes, I play d5, and after king f5 he has a barrier for the king, he cannot move because of d6. But the problem is that after king c3, for example, my king cannot also move because his protected passed pawn is very aggressive, and here he has two ways to win the game. He can either play g5, which is the strongest, after d6 he simply plays king e6, and after I take on g5, he takes on d6, and after g6 he simply plays king e6, stopping my pawns. Or he can play king g6 at once, and after king b4, king f7, and after king c3 turns back, simply king e7, king d6, I have to play f5, but now king e7 he goes back. After king e3, he simply plays c3 and he wins the game. But he decided not to take on g3, he retreated his king on e4, so I play knight c2, after bishop d7, king c3, he returns back attacking my pawns. Now there is no way to save it, so I play d5, king g3, knight d4. And here he completely misses my tactic. He takes on e4, and after knight e6 he has to give up his g7 pawn. I don't know why he was in a hurry, but probably yeah. King e5, I take on g7, bishop g4, knight e8, f5, knight c7. So yeah, I managed to take his pawns. I take on b5, play knight a3, and after f2 I take on c4. But after king d5, there is no way for me to stop his pawn, because if I play knight d2 for many barriers, then simply bishop e2, and he promotes. If I play king d3, wanting to put my knight on e3, he simply promotes with a check, and there is no way for me to put a fork. And if I play king d2, he simply takes on c4. So I decided to play knight e3 check, but now he moves forward. After king d2 he plays king f3. I block his pawn, but now bishop h3. And after knight h2, first he promoted to a queen, but then he realized that it was an illegal move, so he stopped the clock and called the arbiter and explained to him, and we laughed a bit about it. So yeah, his position is still winning. He played king g3. After king e2 he takes on my knight, I take his pawn, but it doesn't save him because his bishop is of the correct color, so he simply plays bishop g4, king g3 eats my pawn, and here a small technique. He pushes his pawn forward. I try to run to center. I obviously understand that my position is losing, but I could have resigned earlier, so I just finished the game by checkmate. After king e5, he plays king c5, and next move he checkmates me. So that was the game. Yeah, I played well in the opening, but then I miscalculated, and he managed to capitalize on it. So yeah, I hope everyone can learn from this game, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.